Hello and welcome to another Chandler in Focus. I'm Councilman Terry Rowe, and our guest today is Ariane Francis, and she works at the Environmental Education Center and Chandler Veterans Oasis Park. And we're going to talk to her. We're going to find out a little bit about both facilities, areas. So Ariane, welcome, and then tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Terry, for having me here today. Well, I have graduated at Arizona State University. I graduated with Recreation Management and Sociology. I actually have been working with Chandler for most of my professional career. I started working with teens. We had some satellite sites at the junior high schools, and so I was at Santan Junior High School. We provided programs during lunch, after school, and in the evening for students, and so it really allowed us to connect with the teens. After that, I went over to Snedeker Recreation Center, and I did a lot of programming. I did classes, preschool programs, and I also did the annual Daddy-Daughter event, which was Valentine's Day dance, as well as the family celebration, Easter celebration. I have now been at the Environmental Education Center for 5 years, and so every day is unique, and I have had an opportunity to learn something new every day. So
you have a great job.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
And it's a unique facility in Chandler, and it's a point of pride for us. How would you describe Veterans Oasis Park, and how is it different from other city parks that we have?
Absolutely. You know, it really is just a passive environment that individuals can really learn about themselves as well as just nature in general. We have a variety of just amenities that individuals can do on their own or with their families. For example, we have 4.5 miles of hiking, biking, running, and equestrian trails. And so it really is just an opportunity for people to get out into nature. We are on the northeast corner of Chandler Heights and Lindsay. So we are South Chandler, but once you get into our park, you feel like you're out in the Sonoran Desert, and it's just a really amazing opportunity.
And you said the park was located at Lindsay Road and
Chandler Heights.
Chandler
Correct.
Heights. And you said there's 4.5 miles of biking and hiking out
Correct.
there. I mean, this is in Chandler.
Correct.
Wow.
So the park in total is 113 acres. So we do say that there's a developed area. There is a police substation. We have the Environmental Education Center, and we have some pavilions that are available. But on the northeast corner of the park, we consider a preserve. Those are where the trails are. Those are where the basins are, which I'll talk a little bit about later. But that's where you have the opportunity to go out and seek and see wildlife every day.
So this is really for outdoorsy people that want to get out of their house, out of their small area, or out of their backyard, and they want to get out. So talk to us a little bit about recreational. We talked about biking and hiking, but what other things?
Absolutely. So we are a premier birding location. And so what's unique about the park is it's actually a 3-department project. The water department, the police substation, and then Parks and Recreation, which is community services. The water department actually uses the facility to store reclaimed water. They actually treat the water and then supply it to one of our 5 basins. By doing that, the basins fill up with water and create a riparian area, a wetland. And so we have native wildlife, both plants and animals, that live there. And they're native to Arizona, but they're just unique because we don't always have these opportunities for them to thrive. And so people can use those to, like I said, see different birds or wildlife, just to enjoy the sights. But the Environmental Education Center takes it a step further because we really utilize it as education. You have probably heard a lot about STEM or STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Yeah. The whole water cycle that we do there is just a great example of just engineering and science. And so we utilize that park for those purposes. So it's great for individuals as well as, groups.
And this is huge. This is huge, and it's and the community's getting multiple uses out of this.
Correct.
We're recovering some of our water. It's getting back in, and people can enjoy it. And you mentioned there's a lot of wildlife out there.
Correct.
So give us a few tips on people that I mean, we want the wildlife to be there for people to see whenever they go.
Right.
So how can people safely and courteously enjoy the wildlife, and not only in this park, but wherever they go?
Wonderful question. I do encourage people to visit our website at chandleraz.org/EEC, and at the bottom it has additional information, but some very quick and wonderful tips are: one, you want to view wildlife from a distance. They're there, that's their home, and you just want to keep them safe as well as yourself safe. You want to stay on trail, and we have trails throughout the entire park. You want to really refrain from feeding the wildlife, and that's just to support their foraging skills, and so that they understand and know how to find food on their own and are just not provided the food. Plus, it kind of just reduces their stress levels. And I think one of the easiest tips is just, if you move so close to wildlife that they move or they leave, then you're probably just a little bit too close.
Yeah, but there's ways to enjoy. I mean,
Absolutely.
if you walk or bike through this park, the wildlife is everywhere.
Right.
And that's a good tip about not feeding the animals, because the temptation, I'm sure,
Yes.
is to feed these,
Right.
and we just don't. It's just not the right thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
But with that being said, inside the Environmental Education Center, we actually have live reptiles on display. We have 3 snakes and 1 tarantula, and we do offer a feeding frenzy, which invites the public to come learn about the reptiles, but also you have an opportunity to watch them being fed. And so just kind of a nice spin on that opportunity for them.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good segue over to the Environmental Education Center, and some of the things that are going on there. This is a facility. It's not. So we have the park and for the biking and the hiking, but this education center. What are some of the unique features about the displays and some of the other things there, et cetera?
Definitely. So we consider the Environmental Education Center as the gateway to the park. So it is open to the public Monday through Saturday. You're more than welcome to come in anytime and just enjoy the activities that we have inside. We have rotating exhibits that you can see, and they're educational opportunities. We have just displays of the wildlife that are found in our park, as well as just hands-on activities for you to do, kind of like a self-guided opportunity. We also do things like classes, programs, signature events that can provide more specific educational opportunities. For example, for preschoolers, we do a prickly pear play school. Everything is based around the Sonoran Desert, but it just helped them with their educational skills, either writing or crafts or learning numbers. Everything goes around the Sonoran Desert, sustainability, and also just the natural world around us.
And so you're talking about classes, and it sounds like pretty diverse type of education opportunities. How do people find out about these? How do they register? How are they going to do this?
Great question. So there is a magazine called The Break Time. It's a quarterly publication available to everybody. It's free of charge. You can find it at any of our recreation facilities. You can find it online at chandleraz.gov/registration, and it includes all of our classes: recreation classes, aquatics classes. It includes special events. It includes things about adult sports and the library. And the Environmental Education Center actually has 2 pages dedicated to some of the programs and events that we offer. So it's a great resource for what's going on throughout the seasons.
Okay, so it's a break time at the centers.
Correct.
And they can pick that up, or they can go right online and get it right there.
Yes.
And if you don't have the resources, the libraries sure do.
Correct.
And but I'm hearing about special events that are scheduled.
Yes.
There. I mean, do you have? I mean.
Yes.
parties?
We do. Well, we actually do nature parties, which are mostly for about 3 to 12-year-olds, and they're birthday parties, but they have themes. And so you have staff that instruct about an hour-long program, and then there's an additional hour for families to host, the presents and the cake and the food. But we have themes that include bugging out, dynamite to you rock. So those are some opportunities, as well as signature events, which are run throughout the year, include our annual Butterfly and Dragonfly Bash. We have an Earth Day and Arbor Day celebration. We do the Sonoran Sunset, which is in our amphitheater. On the west side of our park, we have an amphitheater. And the third Thursday of October through March, from 6 to 7 p.m., we do a concert in the park. And it's just a variety of different bands and music that we play throughout those 6 months. And so we also do a safety fair and fishing clinic in November.
We're putting a lot into,
Yes.
we're getting a lot for our money over there, aren't we? It's a great facility, and people are able to do a lot. And again, let's go back, break time.
Right.
And then if somebody said, I wanted to do a birthday party, how would they do that?
They can visit the chandleraz.gov/EEC. There is information in the break time, as well as they can also just call us at 480-782-2890. And what's nice about any of our locations is all the staff are just so diverse and knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And so we're able to answer that question, either based on recreation or anything about the city of Chandler.
And you put your phone number up there, so I guess you're probably going to get, and you probably do get a lot of calls anyway.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
We get a lot too, also just wildlife calls. And if we don't have the answer, then we also can just get the answer for the public.
Right. Well, I also understand photography. We have a annual photography contest. I mean, I have a lot of photography in my history. I've done wedding photography and all sorts of. I was a base photographer at Williams Air Force Base years ago, and so I have a particular interest in this. So tell us about an annual photo contest.
Absolutely. So this past year was our 6th annual nature photo contest. So it is just encouraging photographers of all ages. There's no experience necessary, and we have 3 categories each year. Some of the categories have been My Beautiful City or Unique Creatures, and there's no real guidelines. It's just what these pictures mean to the photographer. And so they're able to submit up to 6 photos. And this past year, we actually made it more accessible. So it is online. And so my 4-year-old actually I let her have my smartphone. She took some pictures and we submitted them at the park. And so it's just really easy, again, for photographers of all ages and all abilities to submit photos that they can take within Chandler.
So your daughter did some photography?
Yes, she did.
Well, and a lot of people participate.
Yes.
And in fact, we met a gentleman, quite an amazing guy that's has some good skills when it comes to photography, wildlife photography. His name's Greg Wickenburg, and we have just a short piece to show about Greg. He's kind of an amazing guy, and so let's just take a break for that.
My name's Greg Wickenburg. I come from Seattle. We moved here in 2004. And I love photography forever, but I've never been able to do it because of my situation. Recently I found this bracket here that holds a camera, and a camera that's got a touch screen on the back, and I use a computer stylus to do it. And I was just out taking pictures of a little local lake, and I got that great duck shot there. I love wildlife, but it's awfully hard to do in a wheelchair. You can't get close, it's loud. I love Chandler with all the parks, and this is a great place. It's got, wheelchair accessible roads everywhere. It's got a lot of wildlife. We've seen coyotes and lizards, and I still haven't seen any snakes yet, but I want to get one. I really like doing double exposures. where you take 2 photographs on top of each other, and it's all done in the camera, no computer. Really easy to do and fast. The hard part is coming up with ideas and getting the right first shot, because you take a silhouette is the best way, and then your second shot only develops on the dark parts of the first shot. And so if you take a picture of a black cat and then a cactus, you'll see the cactus over the cat. And so it's real simple and fast. It's just coming up with the right lighting, the right colors, and the right idea. That's the hard part. I've really only been doing this for 6 months. And already I'm in a gallery and have a webpage online that's Fine Art America, where you can buy photographs and put them on cell phone covers, pillows, books, that kind of stuff. So that's fun.
Okay, we're back, and hey, quite inspirational. His
Yes.
name Greg Wickenburg, and we're impressed, and we're glad that the park is there for him to enjoy and be able to get around the way he does.
Well, that's one thing that's great about the park and the facility. When it was constructed, the entire park is accessible. And so we have opportunity as well inside the facility to rent equipment if needed. And so it just makes it great for all abilities. And so another thing about the photo contest is that we actually keep all of the photos that were submitted on display through our Earth Day celebration. So it's just also really neat for those individuals to submit their photos, and then we print them out, and then we have them display in our lobby for about 2 months.
So I imagine this number grows each year, but how many people are typically participating and entering in the photo contest?
We had just over 100 photos this year, and I believe it was about 50 people who submitted photos.
Okay.
So some, might just do one, some do all 6. It's, really just open to that individual. And another unique part of the contest is we have the individuals title their photos. And so Greg's actually won an award because of his title with the duck that you saw on his piece, and it was called the Conductor, just kind of representing an individual who may be leading a choir. And so just some unique things that we added to the contest.
Very neat, very neat. An awful lot of this is about families.
Correct.
I mean, it is. I mean, and individuals, of course,
Correct.
enjoy the park and the Environmental Education Center. But tell us how families, is there some unique things that families can do when it comes to both the educational center and the park?
Absolutely. As mentioned, we have the signature events throughout the year. The facility itself, we try to really treat it as have self-guided opportunities. Our lake actually has a self-guided solar walk. And so if you walk around the lake, which is 0.4 miles and it's easy terrain, then there's actually a solar walk that the podiums have information about all of the planets in the solar system in general. So really a nice family-friendly opportunity, as well as we just have volunteer opportunities. The facility, we actually just earlier this year built a demonstration garden. And so this fall we're going to be planting for the season, and we're always looking for individuals to either help one time or ongoing projects. And so families are welcome to just volunteer, either if it's at the garden or just the facility in general, just so they can be part of the amazing things that we're doing at the facility as well as in Chandler as a whole.
Yeah, how formal is that?
It's very informal.
Yeah.
I mean, we do require them to fill out a form. If they're over 18, and depending on the task that they are assisting with, we potentially could do a background check. But mostly when we have people in the park, we just want to know that you're there so we can provide you with the tools and make sure that you're hydrated and that you're safe.
No. Well, time goes by quickly, and we've talked about a lot, but let's just take just a second. Now, is this some of the stuff you might see in the EEC?
Correct.
Yeah.
So we have an Owl's Nest nature store.
Right.
And so we try to sell things that are either, promote sustainability, some of the reusable lunchware, as well as just educational pieces. These are reference guides of animals and plants that you would find in the Sonoran Desert, as well as we have puppets that are very popular with the books. And so they're great for all ages, as well as just some other gifts like an explorer vest. We do jam and honey, and then these are some wonderful soap rocks. And so they are soap, but they look like rocks and minerals found in Arizona.
Wow. Pretty neat stuff, and and that changes up a little bit as time.
Yes.
I mean, you buy different things and that sort
Correct.
of thing, and that's great. But now we're kind of, again, time's running. Is there something else that you'd like to share?
You know, I would. I want to share that another opportunity that the Environmental Education Center has recently brought is we have field trip opportunities. They, again, just utilize not only the facility, but the park. They're there for schools, for scouts, for homeschool organizations, or just groups and team building in general. And they are based on various themes, either it be hydrology, botany, or just geocaching. And geocaching is just a digital treasure hunt. The facility or the park actually has 6 geocaches, and you just either use your smartphone or GPS device, and there are hints and clues within each geocache, and then you seek to find it. And just an example is this for I have here is it actually looks like a rock, but it is actually a geocache, and inside there's either a piece of paper that you just write your information and the date that you found it, or in other situations you actually have like little toys and you trade them in and out for people, for the next people who come through. And so it's another really great recreational opportunity within the park that we have.
Well, that's a pretty important thing to add in.
Yeah.
I mean, so how active is that?
Very active.
And ages and
Yep, all ages.
Yeah.
All ages, and it's relatively free or inexpensive. So all smartphones, the app is free, but if you wanted to, you can do GPS units, which range from about $50 or so. But there's no permission granted. You just look for those clues and those tricky hints, and they're within the park. The park is open from 6 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. And so it's open even when the facility isn't open. And it's just a great way to recreate. And it kind of allows you to explore different parts of the park.
Well, thank you for that final bit there.
Yeah,
it's been
absolutely.
a great opportunity to talk to you and Ariane Francis. And
Correct.
we appreciate what you do for Chandler, and I know Chandler does, because this is just a great facility. Folks, if you haven't had a chance to come out to Veterans Oasis Park or the Environmental Education Center, we encourage you to do that. If you have people that come from out of town or out of state or whatever, get out. And there's a lot going on in Chandler, and this is just another part of that. And so thank you for watching Chandler in Focus. And if you have a moment, tune into our YouTube channel on for other Chandler in Focus programs. Thank you very much. Have a great day.